Hello everyone, Warangel here, and welcome back to the channel. Now yesterday we started the first of two new campaigns with the Skaven of Clan Pestilence, and not only was it good to be back into the swing of recording, but it was also nice to get such a warm welcome back from you guys, the viewers. So I hope you continue to enjoy that campaign as well as this one that we're starting today. Now I had to give a bit of thought about which faction to play as with the vampire counts because they are among my favourite factions for Warhammer Fantasy, and I really wanted to do a good campaign with these guys in particular because I like them and I want to make an extra bit of an effort for these guys. So I was a bit uncertain which ones to pick, but in the end I decided to get some influence from our previous campaign with the Caliphate of Araby, where it was actually told to me in the comments of the video about a certain character, shall we say, that was involved in the defeat of Sultan Jafar in the Warhammer history, who eventually became the Red Duke, who's going to be residing in Mousillon for this campaign. So I thought, what a good choice. That's the guy we're going to pick. Now, in order to play as him, we are using Mixu's Mousillon mod, which is a very highly recommended mod by me. It really makes Mousillon quite unique with certain mechanics and faction effects, so you can actually see some of which is right here. And you can find that mod as well as all the other mods for this series linked in the video description as a mod collection, which if you want to play along with at home, I highly recommend checking out. All the mods work and things should be going quite smoothly. Now, what I do like as well is the way they've actually done this, Mixu has, where you can see a button at the bottom saying change the starting lord. Because when the mod originally came out, you can only play as the Red Duke, but I noticed in, well, say recently, like in the past 6-8 months or what have you, you actually have the option now to play as the Black Serpent Malabard, the bastard son of Lauren Leon Kerr, and he has a very interesting backstory with his own mechanics in the game as well. So we will have the opportunity to play with him as well, but our main faction leader is going to be the Red Duke, and I'll be happy to share some of his backstory and history with you guys as we play through the campaign. But enough of me talking really, we need to get down to the campaign map and get this show rolling. So I'm just going to quickly show you the faction effects. You can read them just here, as well as the Lord effects right here. We are going to be playing very hard campaign, normal battle, like I've been doing recently, and a nice mechanic that I believe the Creative Assembly team added to the game is the option to have the Chaos Invasion on if you wish, and if you do want it on, how hard do you want to be, or just if you want it on off completely. I'm going to keep it on. I think the campaign is going to be very hard anyway, so having the Chaos Invasion is just an extra bonus for us to deal with. But let's get down to the campaign map and see how we go. Welcome everyone to the city of Mousillon. Along the river Grismere here, it is among the poorest and most shabbiest of all the Bretonnian dukedoms, a place well known for its corruption, its a history of facing plague and decay, a place that you do not want to go to unless you have no choice in the matter. But it is this place that is going to be the capital for our conquest of Bretonnia, starting first of all I think with Lyonesse up here to the north. Now, the Red Duke already, let me just skip through that bit. The Red Duke has a number of troops under his command already to march against the nearby army. We do have some Graveguard, some Skeleton Spearmen, zombies, Black Knights, and a Vargulf as well. And as part of Mixu's Mousillon mod, they have been remodeled to look more like Bretonnian troops, as you can tell from looking at the Graveguard and the Black Knights here, rather than looking as the more typical units you would get in the Vampire Count's armies. But before we actually go and attack them, what do we have? Okay, they do have some peasant mob, nice easy targets for us. But before we go, do we have anything here? I'm going to get some of these guys just to stick in. There we go. Might as well get a few extra troops in the army before we attack. And I think it's just best we go straight away and deal with these guys. Okay, balance bar pretty much in our favour. I don't feel the need to actually fight this battle. I think it's just going to be straightforward. Yeah, we took a few casualties, but it's just among the zombies, and who cares about the zombies, eh? Let's be honest. Alright, we will dominate the captives, make sure we get our replenishment. And with that army defeated, I think Lyonesse is looking like a good target for us to go straight to. So, let's actually move to the border. And we did have some zombies left, didn't we? Yeah, we have 2 units. Right, what I'm going to do then is merge these guys. And I'll disband you. That way we can go for full strength, right? There we go. And we can also recruit some units. So what do we have here? We've got skeleton spearmen, men-at-arms with swords, which, as you can see, one of their traits is that they are mutants. So if I just hover over it, you can see here they suffer from foul diseases and horrifying deformations, and as such are immune to psychology. They are undead though and cannot be healed with vampiric powers. So very interesting unit to say the least, and I think we're going to have some, just because I think they look cool. We're going to go for 2 of you guys to complement our skeleton warriors. And I think... do I want to go for some bowmen? Nah, let's round things off with another unit of skeleton warriors. And then next turn then we can go and attack Lyonesse. Now, if we head back to Mousillon quickly, let's have a look and see what we can do here. We're lucky that we start off with a tier 3 settlement, which is good news. We also got a unique landmark building, the ruined Ducal Palace of Mousillon, which, as you can read there, during the reign of Maldred, the palace was made extraordinarily lavish, as priceless tapestries hung from every wall, the finest gilded furnishings graced every room, and feasting and entertainment was endless. But since the terrible affair of the False Grail, that has changed. So it provides us a couple of extra garrison units, and once we eventually upgrade it, we'll be able to get not only a stronger garrison, but the ability to recruit units like Black Grail Knights, which is a really cool unit. I remember coming across them, first of all, playing Warhammer Dark Omen, as one of the artifacts that was being used to try and resurrect the Dread King down in the Black Pyramid of Nagash. So that's going to be really, really cool. And we got the Viking has also been remodeled to represent a Bretonnian knight instead. So some very, very cool choices here. I'm looking forward to seeing the actual models properly on the campaign map, sorry, on the battlefield, because I haven't actually fought a proper battle with these guys yet. But we have also got a Crumbling Wolf. We do have a training field. For the moment, I'm quite happy to keep this. In fact, let's upgrade it straight away. Just because having those extra units to get shields and bowmen and that could come in handy. So, I think that's everything we really need to do. We'll go and see if we can get any good agreements. Laws of Drakenhalf. Okay, none of these are willing to do anything. The Barrow Legion. We do have a mod called, what was it? Return of the Leechmaster, that makes Henrik Himmler and his army, his faction, very, very unique as well, based on lots on things like barrow wraiths and things like that. So, we could potentially... Is he willing? No. It was worth a try. Otherwise, the Vanna Heibling tribe, no settlements. Where are you? I have no idea, but somewhere in this direction, I guess.
Vampires are pale and feeble. You want my blood? Come and get it.
Sure, Leaf. Sure. Now, he's willing to give me non-aggression, but is he willing to give me money?
Not a chance.
No. You know what? I'm not going to bother then. He's not a strong faction, and he has no settlements at the moment, so I imagine he's going to be easy pickings for whichever army is going to attack him. In fact, the Thousand Moors, the faction that Warcraft the Beast Lord rules, and the Sea Fang Marauders. Okay. What about any of the local Bretonnians? Because we can actually force them to become vassals, it seems. But non-aggression, let's see. No? Okay, it's worth a go. It's worth a go. I don't think anyone else is going to be particularly interested in joining us, although, what about you? Or what about getting some trade, if possible? Apparently not. You know what? No matter. No matter. Right, research. What are we going to go for? So we got the Book of Archon, the Necronomicon, sorry, the Lamian Book of Blood, but we also have the City of the Damned. Now this is a particular focus for all of our more living units, like peasants and stuff. Oh wow, we can actually give them a ward save. Well, that's cool. Okay, definitely want to see about going for that at some point. Unification of Bretonnia. Oh my god. Oh, that would be so cool to aim for. We definitely want to go down this tree as much as possible. But I think we'll go for the Lamian Book of Bloods. Just so we can get that blood kiss and start heading up towards growth fairly quickly. We want to build up our settlements as strong as we can and spread that vampiric corruption, so that's what we want to focus on. So we will do that. We do have objectives. I think it'd be good to go for this long campaign victory. We'll see how the campaign goes, but we do need to control if we're going to go for this. 20 provinces, controls any 17 of the big capitals spread across the world. I think we can go for a number of these, like Corillon, Ortdorf, the Oak of Ages, Drakenhof, Miraculano, Skavenblight, and that. A lot of these are quite nearby, so we can go for a few of those at least. We can easily go after the dukedoms of Bretonnia, deal with chaos if needed, so yeah, that could be something for us to aim for. Oh, the other mechanics, let me just see quick. So we got the rights from the old rights mod, but we also got, if we go to bloodlines, a unique bloodline, the Fallen Knights. And you can read through the description here about Bretonnian knights being visited by the Lady of the Lake in their dreams. Only this one's clad in dark robes and offers a grail for blood-red wine. Most of them don't drink it, but some will. So I've not actually seen what a Fallen Knight looks like either, so that's going to be really cool. Oh, and I do have plans for a Lamian vampire as well at some point in this campaign. But let's quickly do this. So Red Duke, let's go for the Restless Dead. And I think quite early on I would normally go for the Hunger, but I think the best one is to go for Undying Horde so we can get our casualty replenishment up. So we'll go for that, just to help things out a little bit. And then I think we'll end the turn. This gives me a little bit of an opportunity to introduce you guys as well to some of the backstory behind the Duke of Aquitane, now known as the Red Duke. So his actual name has been lost to history, but he was well known when he was the Duke of Aquitane for his prowess in battle. He was in particular known for defeating a dragon called Nerluk, and was very instrumental when it came to fighting the people of Araby during the Crusades against Sultan Jafar. Now, he was such feared and well known from his enemies down in Araby. He actually gained the name El Sif Samlan, if I've pronounced that right. I've probably butchered it. But it means Northern Blade. And he was feared for his skill at arms. And if I remember right, he used to actually allow it so anybody can challenge him, whether you were a knight or a peasant. Anyone was allowed to challenge him as an opportunity for him to keep his skills honed. It's sort of, you know, like back in WWE when they used to have it with the hardcore title, you can basically, you know, attack the, you know, fight for the championship belt at any time. A bit like that. But we'll leave the rest of it for the moment. Instead, the tribe that we were actually going to try and ally with, the Valheimlin tribe, has been obliterated, so good thing we didn't do much with them. Oh, and the Mootland have declared war against the vampire counts of Drakenhof. I would love to see how that goes. I would love to see. But who has happened here? Adhard de Lyonesse, the Duke himself, has returned back to Lyonesse, no doubt hearing what happened to the army in the previous term, and hearing about the Red Duke leading a force against the capital. But that's not going to stop us. Let's go and attack. And let's see what we can do here. Now, to be honest, I would have thought that balance bar would be a little more in our favour, but we'll go with it, we'll go with it. Let's, instead, we're going to build some siege towers. Battling rams, I'm not going to worry too much about those. Mainly, dealing with men-at-arms is a fairly straightforward thing. They tend to have low leadership, and we've got a lot of skellies that we can keep resurrecting and bringing back. So we just need to wait 2 turns for the equipment to be built, and then we can launch the siege assault. Now, while we're doing that, there's not really much else so we need to do. So what I think I'm going to do is skip forward 2 turns so we're in a position to attack Lyonesse. So see you guys shortly. Right then guys, 2 turns have gone past and there's nothing been really to report, although I can't help but notice we've got a fleet led by Asleen of Kofik heading over towards our lands. We're currently not at a war with him, but I'm interested to see what he does. This is another mod, I believe. I can't remember which one it was called, but you can find it in the mod collection. And it allows Kofik here to be rather unique, in that it does allow them to have like horde armies and things like that, based very similar to the Vampire Coast, because Asleen is known as the Sea Lord, and he's well known for basically patrolling the seas and protecting Ulthuan from coastal threats. So I'm wondering what he's going to be doing, heading over this way. But anyway, we have now built our siege equipment, we're ready to start the assault. So balance bar still against us slightly, but I think we'll do okay. So see you guys down on the battlefield. Here we are guys at the Battle of Lyonesse, where we can see the gates of the city in front of us. But they may be strong, but we are even stronger. Now, the reason why I'm doing things in slow motion, just to start things off, is to really showcase some of the unique models for our faction. Because while the zombies are the same, if I turn around and look at our main line here, once we go past the siege tower, hey mate, you really don't look happy, do you? Look at that slobber coming down there, look. But anyway, if we look at the infantry back here, you can just see how cool the models are, and really well done by Mixu and anyone that worked with him to do these, because they look awesome. So for example, here we got our skeleton spearmen. Here we've got those men-at-arms, and if we zoom in a little bit closer, as much as we can, you can see like hints of red from their eyes, as well as their almost decay and mutated flesh, boils and stuff like that, like on this guy here. Very, very cool. Then over here, then we've got our skeleton warriors. Again, based on the men-at-arms. If I put them side by side, they look very, very similar. Oh my god, I just noticed. Look at the patchwork sort of leather down here. No doubt knowing the vampire counts as made out of flayed human skin, but that looks really, really cool. And then if we head back here, you can see down here we've got the Red Duke himself looking very imposing in his red armor. And then if we go back here though, here are our Black Knights, and they've been modelled, as you can see, on Bretonnia Knights. They look really, really cool, and like I said, they are basically statistically the same as Black Knights, apart from as part of our faction effects, we can put them into lance formation. But I just love the aesthetic for this mod, and I think Mixu and Nad did a fantastic job creating them. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the later ones as well, for things like the Black Grail Knights we'll be able to recruit and stuff like that. But anyway, enough of us admiring the models, let's get straight to the battle. So if I speed things up a little bit, what I ended up doing is bringing my zombies in just to really distract the enemy arrow fire a fair bit from the towers and that, as well as basically just to run interference on the walls. We've got our Grave Guard in both towers, making their way up onto the walls on either side of the gate. And heading straight to the gate is our Vargulf. His job is just to batter it down so our knights can get in and start wrecking havoc when we can get inside. I will eventually be bringing in the men-at-arms, and as in fact you can see them marching in formation back here. And I love again the little tinge wise, if we look here, you can see like the men-at-arms of all like marching as they would do. And then you compare that to the skeletons, like unified, marching as one is really, really cool to see. But it's, you know, the differentiation between the two units. Now, with that happening, we're still keeping our Black Knights over here. But we've got the Red Duke making his way down to provide support with his magic. Can't do much while he's on the walls. Okay, on his horse I mean. But I just wanted again to zoom in a moment to showcase to you the Grave Guard. Again, look how cool they look. These just look like, you know, dismounted knights. Really, really cool. Each with their own unique heraldry. And they're just going to start decimating through the men-at-arms up here. I mean, these guys, if I bring back our thing a minute, are just normal spearmen, nothing major. Again, bowmen here and spearmen. Nothing really thing. There are a couple of units here and there of foot squires we're going to have to deal with. But for the most part, they've actually been deployed down here temporarily. They will be getting up onto the battlements to fight this soon. But for the moment though, it's just easy pickings for our Graveguard to work our way through the enemy. While they are doing that, if we zoom around this side, you can see the zombies are making their way up. And we've also started springing up all the other infantry. Some of them are coming up through the towers, others are making their way up the ladders. We've still got a few back here just to send up as a second wave after the others, just because I didn't want to clog up my ladders and that by sending too much infantry up at the same time. Now, the Varghulf is having a great time down here by the gatehouse, already 60% damage done to it. And we got the Red Duke, which unfortunately isn't able to replenish casualties taken by using the invocation of Nehek, simply because they're on a wall. But he is using Van Hel's Dance Macabre in order to just boost up troops here and there whenever we get the opportunity. So I've been mainly using it on the zombies, apart from the initial one with the Graveguard on the other side, simply because zombies, as you guys know, are absolutely terrible. And so I figured it'd be a good opportunity just to get them up and provide a little bit of extra damage. Now at this point, basically the battles on the wall are very much in our favour, so they are starting to bring in foot squires to try and help a bit here and there. But luckily for us, we do have zombies in that, and their job is just to cause a bit of havoc, add some fear to the mix, you know? We're still going to have a bit of an issue over here. We've got another unit of foot squires mixed in with some bowmen. But for the most part, our troops are going to do just fine up here. The main thing I'm waiting on, to be honest, is waiting for the gatehouse to be destroyed, and we're not that far away. Now, unfortunately, for me, I actually cocked things up a little bit, and you will see in just a moment why I did that. Right, so here comes the gate smashed open. Our Varghulf is going to start marching in. The Red Duke will be joining them shortly. And I will be springing in now, as you can see, the Black Knights, just to come in and be ready to try and chase down enemy units. We are taking a little bit of damage from our skeleton warriors in out here, but I've used the opportunity now to start trying to get them inside the settlement. Unfortunately though, some of them didn't quite get the right message, so even though I told them to get into formation inside in the courtyard, some of them instead have got the fun idea about trying to climb up the ladders instead, and I didn't notice for quite some time. We got over here an enemy using another use of Van Hel's Dance Macabre in order to get the zombies going. They are losing decisively. They're not designed to really be winning a lot of fights. They're just here to annoy the enemy as much as possible while our forces come in. But this is the second bit. Annoyingly, we had units retreating away from the battlements. You can see them just going off into the distance. And I was hoping to send the Red Duke or even our Knights in it that are slowly making their way in here. But unfortunately, because even though they're coming off here, a number of their forces are still up on the walls, meaning that we can't chase them down. And if I click to try and get them to do it, they'll either just stand around and not do anything, or they'll try and somehow just move up to the section of the wall, almost as if they're going to try and climb up it, which, given that they're cavalry, isn't going to happen. Now, we do get the news, luckily, though, that victory is in our grasp. There isn't much time left of the battle, so we're just going to leave a lot of the infantry just finishing up here, mopping away the foot squires and that. Unfortunately, though, my Black Knights, sorry, my Graveguard are going to start taking a few casualties. This unit here in particular is, as you can see, losing decisively, but they're going to keep a few of their casualties. They've done a lot of kills in this battle, my Graveguard. I'm very, very proud of them, I must say. But while they're clearing up there, what I've tried to start doing is bringing in all of the spearmen, so I can start sending them over after the cavalry over here, because this is the last of the defending forces, 2 units of knight errants and the Duke himself. Now, I did originally try to combine a charge, so we've got the Red Duke about to go in, but he ends up getting swarmed quite quickly by all the other knights and the Duke himself. So you can see there's a double charge in where the Red Duke just slams into the knights errants using their lance formation. He is getting some support though. I did have troops slowly get into position back here, but I'm going to start moving them up once I realise he's actually in battle at the moment. I have decided to boost him up a little bit using Van Hel's Dance Macabre just to improve his fighting ability even more. And he's going to need it. You can see here now, it's just got a swarm of knight errants here. And the Duke himself is right here, trying to push his way towards the Duke. But my Duke is hanging it on quite valiantly. Taking quite a bit of damage though, and I am trying to heal him up as we go, using the invocation of Nehek, as you can see just then. But luckily for us now, we do have a unit of Black Knights charging into the side here. And I've get on the other side then, some more units about to charge in here. Again, it's the case that I forgot to get them running, so they are starting to run. The Vargolf's going to join in as well with his armor-piercing ability. I got a second unit of Black Knights then getting into position over here. And it's at this point that I just remembered, oh yeah, they can go into lance formation. So you can see on the tooltip then, I've switched them over to lance. And I just thought, we'll move them back a little bit so they can get a good charge, and then spin them around so they can tack into what I presume was the flank here. Now the Red Duke as well is continuing to take damage. He's just not able to handle all of this by himself. But we've now swarming them, surrounding the knights with our own troops. The Vargolf charging in. Just smashing away, armor-piercing damage, don't forget. So soon it's not going to be too long until their morale drops. Now while that's going on, we've managed to finish off up on the walls here. There's still a couple of remnants losing the last bit of morale. But generally all the infantry are starting to retreat. We've even captured some of the towers firing away at the enemy position. And we're starting to bring in infantry to help with the battle itself as well as capture the victory point. But the remnants is just going on here. We've got the last couple of things, if I zoom in as well, just for a bit of fun. You can see just a swarm of knights all fight each other one by one. But with the Vargolf, we're going to need a cool name for him. I've seen plenty of people call their Vargolfs fluffy, and I don't know, I don't like it. We need something proper, I think. But we have got a decisive victory nevertheless. The city now belongs to the undead. So with that, let's go back to the campaign map. So there we go guys, a decisive victory for us. Now we did unfortunately take a few casualties among our troops, specifically units like this one here, Spearmen and the Zombie unit. But the way I see it, Spearmen and Zombies are there to die for their masters. I'll be more concerned if I lost a unit of Black Knights, for example, or some of my Graveguard. Although this unit did take a few casualties, but it also got a lot of kills. Nearly double, in fact over double, off the Pretenant one next to it. So all in all, I'm not going to complain too much, but Jesus Christ, 230. Wow, that accounted for nearly most of the casualties I took in that fight. Nearly half of them, in fact. Wow. Anyway, let's click this. Now, we do have a few options. We can actually subjugate Lyonesse if we wanted and make them a vassal of ours. But I'm going to go ahead and occupy it straight away because I want the entire province under my control and this is the best way to do it. And we also picked up Lion King. What? The Bretonnian coastline will be unsafe now that one of the greatest protectors of it is dead. So now we can attack a walled city without having to wait for towers or battering rams. So basically we pick up the siege attacker trait, which is quite cool. I mean, with the mods we're using... Oh, Jesus Christ. Whoa, what's it? Okay, so Malabad, or the Serpent, as some call him, has arrived to Ducal Palace of Mousillon. He has a plan for uniting Bretonnia under Mousillon's rule, but needs our help with his quest. He has told us about certain contacts of his that can be convinced to help us if we agree to help him. Shall we accept his help, or shall we show him the door? So you could choose to just refuse him and not have him join your faction, but I'm going to say join us. I'm interested to see what actually happens when he joins the faction. Because all I've done is just played a little bit enough just to make sure the mod's working, that there is no crashes when it comes to fighting in battles, that sort of thing. So I'm interested to see what that was. It did say, in fact, hang on, is that it? Knights of the Black Grail. Oh, we'll check that out in a second. What did we pick up? We picked up the Crown of Command. That's not so useful for us because we are unbreakable. Most of the undead are unbreakable. I mean, the peasants might be useful with that, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, they have been defeated. Ooh. Knights of the Black Grail Subogaz. So in fact, let me click on here. Maybe this will show us better. Oh, wow. Not a big fan of that, but hey, yeah, one of those things. Okay, so we've got Knight of the Black Grail Sir Ocasin. Now, you can read through the characters here, I presume. You can see down here they have certain specialties, it looks like. His role as the actor's Malabad's voice in gathering support of other nobles. And this is what we need to do in order to unlock them. In this case, forge a defensive or military alliance with any faction. So, what about... Oh, you look interesting. Wait, what? Is that the same guy? It seems to be. Ooh, who knows? Inferior Lord. Okay. I have a feeling it's not working quite as intended, since that's just sticking to it. Okay. But let's continue. We've got the Butcher of Biakan. Okay, we need to kill 2,000 enemies in battle. And he is Malabar's Weapon of Terror, a barely lucid brute whose response usually involves a lot of brutality. Okay. We've got this undead person as well, Crown of the Trickster. Right. I think this might be mods acting against each other, but we'll see. We'll see. We've got the Rusting Blade, Malabar's Executioner Sir Itash. Okay, so we need to move a cat to Gisoro. So just over to here. Okay. We also got Lady D. Your Cement. We need to gain 70.55% of vampire corruption in Lyonesse. Does that mean... Is that her? Oh, wow. Magic support. Seeker of Knowledge and Trinkets. Also a sorceress. That could be interesting. A fallen lady, almost. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys look like, and what the others may involve as well. But, for the moment... Lyonesse has got a little way to go before we can upgrade the cities, so let's see. Let's go Foster Terror. I definitely want to try and get the Balefire Brazier to go in as soon as possible so we can start spreading corruption. But it'll also be nice as well to start our hands on some of the other buildings that we can get. In particular, maybe go for this one, the Defiled Khan, so we can get corpse carts. We can eventually upgrade to get Forbidden Libraries and Vampires, and all sorts of weird and marvellous stuff. I've got a lot of different options to get food, to be honest. Quite a lot indeed. But, for the moment, we've got 2 turns. How much is it going to be to upgrade? 1,600. 821. I'm just seeing if it's worth actually getting this for double the income and growth. It might be, actually. Let's just quickly sort this out. So, oh wow, our replenishment is really, really fast here. In fact, now that we've leveled up, let's go for some more points, and like that, and we'll be leveling up like crazy in terms of replenishment. I mean, our Graveguard are pretty much going to be back to full strength in the following turn. That's going to be cool, handy. Right. Oh, actually, one sec. Did we get... We got a mission, didn't we? I remember seeing once. Okay, it's not there now. But we picked up a Necromancer. Aiden's Beast Spitter. Okay. Let's get you to join up with the army then. I'm going to get rid of you. In fact, let's just merge you guys together. There we go. You can then come and join up with the army. While we can actually use magic with the Red Duke, I imagine him being a more martial character, so we're not going to have as big a focus on magic with him, for obvious reasons. But I think having a Necromancer will be useful. So we'll definitely make sure to do that. And I would like to eventually swap out the zombies, simply because I think for a Blood Dragon vampire, I don't see zombies and crypt ghouls and stuff like that being in the army. I see them being more like, not so much an army as in his own personal retinue. So having skeletons, having Graveguard, and the men-at-arms and that, I can see that happening, but not necessarily having zombies. So it could be in our interest to actually get rid of the zombies and maybe get something else. Yeah, I'm going to go and do exactly that. We've got plenty of other units we can always discard. So let's have a quick look at what we can recruit. So we can get men-at-arms with polearms now. That's interesting. Skeleton Spearman. I'm tempted for the Bowman, to be honest with you guys. I mean, we could eventually get fire arrows and pox arrows. In fact, those could be really useful to get. Huh. We need a Carpenter's Workshop, I presume? Yeah, Carpenter's Workshop. When do we get that? Carpenter's Workshop, right here. Ah, okay. So once we actually get this built, which we can do once Lyonesse gets upgraded, although it does mean not going ahead and getting our hands on the Belvi Brazier. Although, hang on. We can get damsels. Oh, I did not see that. We can get dark damsels, basically. Oh my god. Oh, so much stuff to pick. Damn it. What a problem when you have too much options to pick from. It's such a difficult problem, you know? Right. Well, there's not much we can do anyway until we can level it up, so we're just going to leave it for the moment. Right. But we also picked up a Blood Kiss because we defeated the faction leader in battle. And we're also going to begin another one soon once we finish our first research. So let's just go ahead for the moment. What I will do is keep the zombies. I know, I just disbanded them, didn't I? Did I? God, I'll check in a minute. But what we'll do is basically swap them out for some bowmen, just because they may come in handy having them in battle. And with our replenishment though, the rest of our army will be coming together quite nicely. And I think our next target has got to be going after Bordelot. Just because we are currently at war with them as well. So if we can eliminate our enemies straight away, we can then focus on the other Bretonnian factions as we need to. Now, it did just occur to me though, that if I actually grabbed Aiden Beastspitter here, we could actually move him over towards Gisero in order for us to get that character unlocked. So we need to move him over here. So let's send Aiden over there. Right. One more turn to go. Yeah, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Yeah, we will go ahead and upgrade the harbour here. Get a bit of extra money coming in. And then... yeah, I think I'll wait until we can get... now, I'll get the bowman now. But then, no, we want to get the settlement more. Damn it! Okay, never mind. Never mind. What I'll do is this. Right, let's cancel the build in there for the moment. I'm going to get my hands on the bowman because I'd rather get the brazier straight away. And just having these simple bowmen to bulk things up a bit will be fine. But yeah, we'll go for that. Get the brazier. Maybe even recruit a damsel instead of having the necromancer. So we can have a combination of different magics. And then we can just go from there then, I guess. But yeah, we definitely want to make sure we upgrade Lyonesse in the following turn. But again, that's really everything. Let me just have a quick look again for any relations we can enhance. Scourge of Cain. No, a lot of people aren't going to like us just because of their aversion against us. That's unfortunate. But what about you guys? Nothing yet. And Dragonhearth we're not going to touch yet because they are just too far away from us. But I'm surprised you don't want anything. What about this? Okay. We don't actually need military access, but having it at least is useful, and it does improve our relationship with them. So Heinrich may be on board eventually, and he's going to provide a nice little distraction up here in the mountains anyway. So let's leave it for now. We do have some orcs to deal with. Most unfortunate, but nothing wrong with us hunting some greenskins, eh? Right then guys, we're going to leave things here for today, but I think we got off to a very good start. We defeated one of the Bretonnian factions already and secured our province, and in a very strong position to continue further into the campaign. Now, our next target is going to be Bordelot once we've dealt with the greenskin gits that are currently now raiding outside of Mousillon, and I'm not too sure how we're going to deal with Bordelot. Albrecht tends to start off with quite a decent army under his control, and we definitely want to see what he's got at his disposal before we try and march down. But once we've dealt with him, we are pretty much open about which direction we march to next. I do think that going after Corvion will be a good choice for us once we've dealt with Bordelot, but we'll get to that once we've dealt with things. But for now though, I hope you enjoyed today's episode and continue to enjoy the series as we continue. Otherwise, thank you for watching and take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.